a magical journey with us to Australia's Great Barrier Reef. Our journey to Brisbane, Australia was undertaken with Malaysia Airlines and firstly took us from Bangkok to Kuala Lumpur. Well, we are well and truly on our way to Brisbane, but our first stop is Malaysian Airlines Oasis right here, the Golden Lounge at KL International Airport. Australia is one of Malaysia Airlines' most popular destinations, with 61 weekly flights, 3 of those to Brisbane, capital of the northeastern state of Queensland. From there, our next stop was a 2-hour flight further north to the tropical city of Cairns, where our vessel, the Coral Princess, was waiting.
We'll lose the 4 spring first, please, Gary. Roger, coming into the channel. Well done, chaps. Good job.
Isn't this stunning? Well, we've embarked on an 8-day, 7-night cruise with the lovely Coral Princess. Our journey will take us to some of the most beautiful islands and coral formations in Australia's Great Barrier Reef. It promises to be a journey that's laid back and leisurely with a touch of adventure and the chance of making a few new friends along the way. Our travels on this journey would take us to several reefs and islands south of Cairns. We were plying the waves with over 40 fellow travellers and around 13 crew. Over more than 30 years, the multi-award-winning Coral Princess cruises have reached the pinnacle of small ship expedition.
Welcome on board the Coral Princess.
As soon as you get underway, it's time for a briefing and a chance to meet the crew, greet each other, and in this case, to introduce our camera team. Coral Princess is luxury on a compact scale, a 35-metre catamaran that has both stability in the water and a shallow draft, making it easy to access coral reefs. 25 roomy cabins accommodate up to 50 guests. There's an open door policy on the bridge, and you can ask the captain, "Are we there yet?" Now, what can you tell me about the boat? Is it a catamaran?
Yes, so we're on a motor catamaran. Actually, there's 3 hulls built of this vessel. They were built out of Mackay back in the late 80s. This ship was born in 1988,
right.
And she has 2 sister ships, and I've actually served on the other 2 as well. The sister ship to this one serves on the Barrier Reef, and the other one is around on the west coast. Now, she's a 35-metre catamaran, luxury built coastal cruise liner. And she has been doing this section of the world since she was born, and I imagine and I hope she'll be here till the end of her day.
Oh, we've had pretty good conditions so far. Is this what it's usually like?
Well, actually, we've had some quite varied conditions, to be fruitfully honest. We've had northerly winds. Now, northerly winds in this section of the world here, we've got a prominent southeasterly trade wind that blows up and through and across the reef, providing you shelter on this side of the reef, and this side has swell and sea blowing over the top of it, which has been nicknamed in here either the weather edge or the wild side of the reef.
Right.
Now, today we're seeing northwesterly winds, so they're coming in from this direction. Okay, so we're going to the other end of the reef, and to the other side, to the wild side of the reef.
And that's not
today.
so common, no?
No, it's not at all.
No.
This happens probably about 2 weeks a year.
Oh, wow.
And you only come to these sections of the reef, on a very limited occasion, so very special actually.
So we've been very lucky.
Very lucky.
Those favourable winds ensured we had the best weather imaginable, with incredibly calm conditions. It was perfect for some fish feeding.
Keep your fingers out of the water, because that big black fish there sometimes will bite your fingers.
The water was so clear we could see all the fish, and no doubt they could clearly see all the treats we had in hand. But on a day like this, you can't waste any more time getting into the water. The experienced divers suited up, while those new to scuba had a few lessons on venturing beneath the sea. Then it was time to explore. Our first stop today is the Thedford Reef. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the conditions today are perfect for snorkeling. So let's go. Even if you don't dive, snorkeling on Thedford Reef is just as magical, with stunning coral outcrops and a vivid array of sea life. For those who prefer to stay dry, the cruise has its own custom-built glass-bottom boat, and trip director Dennis McDowell offers a running commentary.
Also, they're discovering that corals are adapting to global warming.
It was then time to watch the sunset over the sea as we drifted by the family group of islands that were discovered and named by explorer Captain James Cook. The next morning, and we had arrived at Thedford Reef. It was time to suit up, breathe in, and descend to another wonderland. The Great Barrier Reef extends over 1,200 nautical miles. It's home to 1,500 species of fish and 400 species of coral, and is a World Heritage Site. The 35 million hectares spread of this marine national park is larger than the United Kingdom and teems with diversity. On this day, I caught a quick glimpse of a reef shark. Meanwhile, we were about to meet some of the marine life up close with Dennis's touch tank. Anyone for sea cucumber?
Give him a kiss.
Yeah, it's
Oh! Oh!
Our cruising continued. As the day ended, it was time to head to the dining room for cocktails and dinner. With 3 meals a day, plus morning and afternoon teas, the hardest working staff on board are in the kitchen.